What's up, guys? Clutch Fan 37 bringing the StringKing Mark II F lacrosse head review. First off, huge shout out to StringKing yet again. They sent me over a Mark II F with a brand new piece of their 4F lacrosse face-off mesh, or I guess it's the lacrosse mesh in general. As you can see, the head is a different color. That is because it is the raw material they used before they dye the plastic white, gray, or black, which I think is really cool. Obviously, for certain reasons, can't dye it. I don't plan on dyeing this at all because it's the raw material, and it's really cool to have. Usually when manufacturers come out with a head and they're in the almost final stages of producing it, they get this colorway, which is just the raw material before it's dyed, and it's really cool. But most companies, when they come out with a head and you see it in this colorway, it's not the final product or even the final plastic they're using, but StringKing assured me that this is the final model, final plastic. The only difference is it's just not dyed white, gray, or black. So we're going to dive into this review, and I'm actually going to take some face-offs with it to show you guys how it works. So diving into the actual review, we'll give you the aesthetics, the overview, and then do some dummy face-offs with it to show you guys. But this head, I think, is probably the best face-off head to date. I think it'll probably be the best face-off head until the Mark IIIF comes out, or Mark II 3F, whatever that may be. So aesthetic-wise, we'll start from the bottom going up. The throat itself is very nubbed down. It's very short, which I absolutely think is great for face-offs. They didn't go with the plug aspect. They just went with a nice, flat, super small throat. I was mixing up my words. From there, they have 3 locking bolts here. StringKing with their Mark II series and even the Legend series is known for the locking bolts, and they work very well. The Mark IIF has 3 of them, as you can see. You got 2 here in the front and 1 here on the side, so when you're facing off right-handed, the actual top of the bolt is up here in the top, which, I mean, it's so deeply in there, it's not going to make a difference or affect your hand. Pretty cool. From there, the 3 locking bolts don't touch whatsoever down here, which I think is great. My only concern is when you're stringing or putting this on a shaft, not stringing it, when you're putting it on a shaft, having those 3 bolts, obviously you could ruin a shaft, which doesn't necessarily matter if you're taking face-offs and you use the Mark IIF religiously, but I think they'll probably end up coming out with a face-off shaft or a certain shaft that has 3 precise holes for the locking bolts at some point in the future. Regardless, like I'll show you later, this does fit on any shaft, of course, and then with any StringKing shaft, you can only use the very bottom locking bolt, which not an issue. Going from there, going up the head, it has 29 stringing holes, which some people are worried about for the integrity of the head or how stiff it is and if it's going to break down here, but so far they've done probably close to a year of research and have had almost no issues with it down here. Me personally, I've been messing around with it and taking maybe 50, 75 face-offs, and none of the holes seem to be warping, cracked, or bent whatsoever, which StringKing knows what they're doing, obviously. From there, 29 string holes makes it super easy to string with the new the new Type 4F face-off mesh. It's really easy to get a pocket. Face-off guys, I don't think necessarily need any crazy pockets because you probably will break some heads, but with the Mark IIF, I think those will last you at least a whole season, maybe a whole year or so. You may want to start looking to string up a better pocket that's meant for face-offs or something that will help you. From there, it has the same scoop that all StringKing Mark II heads have, as well as the Legend series, which is the best scoop in the game, at least in my opinion. One thing that really blew me away, and one thing I think is just super simple and something a lot of companies should pick up for face-off heads, is the offset. The head is very flat, very narrow. There's little to no offset, which is awesome for face-offs. Obviously, if you have a dual or a CEO, it does have some type of drop-off here, which is okay for facing off. But the more you use it, the more it starts to kind of pinch downward, come in a V, almost creating a peanut-shaped pocket or a peanut-shaped head. So it works great for face-offs, but if you're stuck playing offense or defense and you get the ball on your stick, chances are it's not going to go where you need it to. It's going to be warped. It's going to go to the side if you pass or shoot it. So StringKing went above and beyond yet again and just made it very flat. There's a large gap here, which doesn't follow the original Mark II sidewall designs, which has 3 struts. Only has 2 here. But there's a massive gap here, which is awesome for face-off. There's no material here going to block your hands or going to stop the head from bending. These 2 right here are nice support beams, perfectly placed in my opinion. So if you get the ball anywhere from here down towards the throat of the head, not going to have any issues. From there, the face shape is yet again unlike the Mark II heads. It's very tight, it's very narrow, and it doesn't have any aggressive jutting out or flare to it. Very simple, great for face-offs, and not only that, having something that's just narrow and something that's just very, I don't want to say generic, but almost just flat and straight up. Awesome for face-offs, scooping ground balls, pretty much anything. So overall, aesthetic-wise, I think the Mark II F will probably be the best face-off head to date. I think it's going to be the go-to for a lot of people. Me personally, if I was facing off and my options were CEO, Dual, or the Mark II F, or Command X, I'm going Mark II F all day. Type 4 mesh, real quick, or Type 4F, 14.5 grams, the lightest mesh to date. Being a face-off person, you don't need something thick and something super durable. You just need something that's going to last a while. My only issue with that is since it's so light and so thin, I wonder if the mesh will rip. But rest assured, yet again, StringKing has a 6-month warranty on the Type 4F mesh. From there, they changed it up a bit. They have Tri-Twist technology, or Tri-Twist Tex, whatever they want to call it. I should probably look at my cheat sheet before I do this review. But it's on the outside of the mesh here where you face off and where you need it the most. Supposedly it's supposed to help the ball go in and out quickly and also keep the outsides of the mesh nice and tightly woven so they don't rip. Because obviously if you're taking face-offs, you're really beating down on the outsides of the mesh. From there, light mesh, super soft. Doesn't have the same grip that the StringKing Type 4S and 4X does. Doesn't have that kind of gritty sandpaper feel. It's just nice and smooth, which perfect for face-offs. So aesthetic-wise and performance, or at least overview of the head, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's something most companies who are coming out with a face-off head should try and do, which is have a nice flat generic offset here so it doesn't pinch inward or come to a V shape down here below where you face off. Face shape-wise, I think it's great. It's a nice face-off shape, or face-off shape. Nice face shape to where if you're taking a face-off, you win it, and you want to play defense or offense, it'll do you justice. It's going to work. It's going to hold the ball. It's going to let you shoot. Play some defense. It's sturdy enough for defense, and overall I think it's just one of the really good heads out there that is good for anything, specifically face-offs, but if you get stuck on offense or defense, this will be something that definitely will hold up. So in comparison to the Mark IIs and the Legend Seniors heads, the actual plastic they use, the material they use, is a different blend. So it's not as stiff as the Mark IIs, which is great because any Mark IIs or Legend heads for face-offs would be real iffy and probably snap. So they came up with a different material that uses mostly the same as the Mark II and Legend series, but also adds a bit more flexibility to it, so it's great for face-offs. As you can see, relatively flexible, but still stiff enough to where, like I said before, you can play offense or defense with it. And I think that there's now a hybrid of face-off guys coming into the world, especially Trevor Baptiste this year, where you win a face-off, you run down, you pass the ball, and sometimes you get stuck on offense, sometimes you get an offensive set. If you use a face-off head that's warped or bent, even after a couple of uses or games, it's just going to affect the way you play. The StringKing head, however, pops into shape extremely nicely, and it does have a pretty good face shape to where you can even use it for offense and defense, like I said before, which I think is huge. I don't see anyone, hardly any face-off guys that are stuck on the field trying to play offense with a Dual or CEO, or even the Command X. Usually they try their best to get off the field or lock off someone so they don't have to get stuck playing offense or defense. So now we went over the overview and quick review. We're going to take some dummy face-offs. I'm going to play, 20, 30 of them maybe, and then show you guys the face shape after, because like I said, I've taken probably 50 to 75 of them so far, and the face shape seems almost not affected whatsoever. So like I said, I don't take face-offs, so don't bash my form. I'm just going to show you guys the flexibility of it. Really try and push it to the limits, and then we'll do some fast forward and some better angles, but basically flex point, brand new out of the box, strung up, go down. See here, flexes, pinches the ball right where you need it to, pops up nice and simple. Let's do a couple more, different stances I guess, different ways. Pretty good. Really impressed with how well it pops into shape and stays flat. Also, since it's so narrow and so just kind of straightforward and flared, when you get stuck here earlier or up higher in the head right in between these beams, if you get enough flex, it'll still hold the ball and snap it right where you need it to. So do a couple more and then do some fast forward so you can see the flex points. Move the mesh here. So you get it right here in the throat, pinch down, do this. You can see that the ball doesn't have a lot of place to go besides in the head. So do one or two more and then do some pretty crazy stuff here, do some fast forward, but nice and simple. .360, nothing. Different angle here. Try and pinch and pop as fast as possible, as well as flexing ahead to a really scary point, just to make sure it's as durable as they say it is. Oh yeah, 360 it. Oh, this thing is fun. Just look at that. The flexibility. Unreal. Wow. I'll do one more. I wish I had one of those face-off things or a face-off buddy, but I don't. Boom. Sorry I had a different angle. More of a flex test. We're going to pinch it, do like a 360s twirl around. Little somersault action just because I'm having a blast with this thing. Watch out, Greg Grimley, I'm coming for you. Wow. Boom. There you have it. Couple things. Alright, so like I said previously in the video, if you have one of the older StringKing shafts, like the A7150 or Metal 2s, like I said, I think they're coming out of the face-off shaft, but I don't know. The locking bolt stuff, not too crazy. The bottom one works. There's no holes here. But having the short throat definitely helps out for that. Like I said before, you can definitely drill your own holes. StringKing has a video or two about that where you can drill the locking bolt holes in any shaft. So I can only assume they're coming out the face-off shaft or a shaft that has holes for the face-off head. Just don't quote me on that. But as you can see here, this is a face shape, not pinched or flexed back right after a bunch of face-offs. Slightly curved to the side, but still very straight, which is awesome. I think most heads after 100 to 200 face-offs would be relatively flared or relatively warped to one side, but this one, it holds its shape very nicely. Type 4F mesh, pretty cool. Don't really know what to say about it. It's the same classic StringKing mesh, which I love the weave. Very thin, doesn't have the crazy texture, the crazy grip here on the inside. The outside, however, the outside portions, like I said, has the tri-twist technology, which helps the ball go in and out a little faster and helps keep the outside of the mesh a little stronger and a little stiffer, so meant for face-offs, of course. 14.5 grams, lightest mesh to date. I don't know if I would recommend using it for offense or defense. It is very lightweight, but I just don't know about the durability with a ball and the amount of stuff you'll be using with it, so I don't know if I use it for offense or defense, probably just strictly face-offs, but rest assured, StringKing has a 6-month warranty on it. The head itself will be coming out at $89.99 like all the other Mark II heads. I don't think they're going to be doing a 2-pack release of it, but with a 6-month warranty and how well it's holding up, I don't think you need to worry about it too much. This thing is fun. If I were a face-off guy, this would be my head of choice without a doubt. And I think I might be trying to take some face-offs with it during Summer League because this is a blast. I love playing with this thing. Quick overview. Nice generic face shape, very flat and straightforward. Nothing too crazy. Huge gap down here, great for face-offs. 29 string holes, and after 200 or so face-offs here in the apartment, they don't look like they're bending, breaking, or warping whatsoever. Huge kudos to StringKing. They kept it smart and simple. From there, the stringing of it. I'll touch on it real quick. I don't really believe in face-off pockets where people need a specific pocket because you break a lot of heads as a face-off person, so you don't need to create anything crazy with it. And of course, I say that when I create something a little crazy. I don't know if you can see here, but on the outside, I looped it. That way when you're playing with it in the back, you can see the mesh is not exposed to ground or dirt.